Hello all, thanks for checking out my videos. I know it's been a while since I put up a new video, but I've been trying to make up my mind if I want to keep going using MTH real tracks and their cars. I've been running into a problem with this little silver subway set here. This is a Chicago 3200 subway series, and had it for about 6 years now, and it's been having problems running in DCS. When it's running in conventional, it wasn't having problems before, but now it didn't actually start it. I guess the problem then got worse, and no one seems to help me out, so I decided to put a video up to see if I can get some advice. What it does when it's running in DCS is when it gets to a curve, a switch track, elevated, elevated, or maybe a grade, like it's going up or down, anything of that nature, the engine will take off. It'll take off for a second or two, could last 5 seconds. It just keeps taking off until either the rails or it makes contact with the rail, another rail again. Excuse me, I'm using a cell phone here for this video. But running in conventional mode, you don't get no effect except it may slow down a little bit. But over recent days, it's been starting to spark underneath the engine. And after taking it apart, getting so much advice, people told me to replace the trucks. The truck's been replaced. Battery been replaced. Some wires been replaced. There's been so much replaced on this engine that I can barely get the shell back on it. But after doing all the taking apart and putting together and swapping parts, I've come to figure out what the problem is. And what I'm focusing on now is the truck. And if you look, I'm going to grab a screwdriver. If you look here, there's no paint. I did not know that this truck here was actually common ground, and with it being that, it has actually scraped the paint off, doing wear and tear from it doing left and right turns around curves. That's problem number one. Problem number two, you can see, I'm going to hold it steady, you can see at the top of the rim, the camera's not going to focus in, but that's also a part where it's losing paint. So the truck is actually scraping the bottom part of the flatbed truck. And then the third part is the motor. If you can look up there at the top, you can see that the paint has actually scraped off there, and it's actually shorting out my motor when it runs around curves, switches, running in reverse, anything. The way I look at it, I didn't know that this was something like this could happen. I would figure that they would have come up with a better design, maybe a plastic piece right there instead of metal, with all this being coated in black paint, and now the paint has worn off, and I only have two choices: either paint the part, which I don't think that's going to do anything, or replace that motor part right there, the truck, and the flatbed. If anybody got any advice, whoever ran into this problem before, they can let me know. Either leave me a message on YouTube. I'm putting this video on an O-Gauge forum to see if I can get some help.